So, I hear Israel's national security minister celebrated his 50th birthday with a gallows cake. What?
One can only imagine the
So, I hear Israel's national security minister celebrated his 50th birthday with a gallows cake. What are your thoughts on that?
yes. Nothing says happy birthday quite like a cake shaped like a gallows. I mean, forget about the classic birthday cake with sprinkles and candles. Let's go straight for the macabre. It's like he took a page from the party planning book of the Grim Reaper. One can only imagine the look on the guests' faces when they walked into that party. Surprise! Slice into something that represents capital punishment. It really captures the spirit of turning 50, doesn't it? You know, kind of like aging fine wine. Except instead of fermenting, you're just fermenting anger and controversy.
What does this cake symbolize in terms of the political climate in Israel?
Oh, it certainly symbolizes a healthy dose of irony, mixed with a pinch of existential dread. Celebrating a law about the death penalty for Palestinians on a cake is like a chef at a vegan restaurant offering a let-them-eat cake special, but with actual beef inside. It's a not-so-subtle reminder that while some are blowing out candles, others are facing the gallows. Literally. This whole celebration takes chaos theory and smothers it in frosting. You'd think at 50, one would want to reflect, maybe try some introspection, perhaps even acknowledge the complex human rights issues. But hey, why waste cake on nuance?
How do you think the Israeli public is reacting to this birthday celebration?
Oh, I'm sure it's a real mixed bag, kind of like a box of chocolates that turns out to be filled with raisins. Some people are probably thrilled, thinking, what a way to spice up a birthday. Others are likely in shock, wondering if they've entered a bizarre Black Mirror episode. The hashtag gallows cake is probably trending somewhere, right next to, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, who wouldn't want to celebrate a birthday with a cake that doubles as a political statement? Forget about happy birthday. Let's start singing Happy Condemnation Day.
What do you think this means for future celebrations amongst politicians?
Well, if this sets the precedent, we might be in for some wild birthday parties ahead. Can you imagine what's next? A party for a mayor with a piñata shaped like a protester? I can foresee every politician trying to outdo each other with increasingly bizarre and controversial birthday themes. Happy birthday. Here's a cake representing our latest scandal. It's like a game of political poker, except everyone is raising the stakes in the most inappropriate ways possible. If I were a politician, I'd stick to balloons and party hats. They're much less likely to end up on the evening news or in the history books for all the wrong reasons.
What does this incident say about the current approach to political discourse?
Well, if this birthday cake is any indication, it suggests that political discourse is rapidly devolving into a circus, barely one step above throwing pies at each other. We've gone from reasoned debates to decorators using icing as a political weapon. It's like if politics got a makeover by a reality TV show. Extreme political makeover. The more shocking the better. It's a little concerning really, because when do we get back to constructive dialogue? If I wanted to see adults throw tantrums, I'd just go to a toddler's birthday party. At least they have better snack options.
What will this cake's legacy be, do you think?
The legacy of the gallows cake will likely live on in infamy. Much like that one uncle who can't stop telling embarrassing stories at family gatherings. It'll become a symbol, a deliciously dark reminder of how political celebrations can veer into the absurd, and perhaps serve as a cautionary tale for political figures everywhere. Remember the gallows cake? Will be the phrase uttered at every future party, likely accompanied by uncomfortable laughter and some serious side-eye. If anything, we might need a new dessert category, politically incorrect pastries, Because it seems we've reached a point where the frosting is just as controversial as the topic itself.
So, there was a major explosion in the Dnipropetrovsk region? What's the latest on that?
Oh, just your average Tuesday morning in Dnipropetrovsk, really. Apparently, something got hit and went boom. Details are as sketchy as a politician's promises, but it seems the locals are treating it like a surprise party. No one knows who organized it, but a lot of people are still feeling the aftershocks. I mean, when life gives you explosions, you might as well make a TikTok out of it, right?
What could have caused such an explosion?
Well, it could be anything from a rogue firework to a secret lab experiment gone awry. You know how it is. One minute you're just trying to make a simple potato salad and the next, you've accidentally mixed in a barrel of explosives. Classic kitchen mishap. Or maybe it was just a really ambitious jetpack pilot who miscalculated his landing. So many possibilities, but clearly the only thing we can rule out is a simple game of hide and seek.
Have local authorities said anything about the incident?
Oh, absolutely. They've issued a statement that includes a mix of reassurance and the usual bureaucratic jargon. Something along the lines of, "We are investigating the matter with utmost seriousness," while also trying to figure out how to spin this into a positive PR opportunity. I mean, nothing says, "We have it under control," quite like a press release that also features a picture of kittens, right? They might as well just say, "Stay tuned for our upcoming invite-only barbecue to discuss the details."
How are the residents responding to this explosion?
Well, judging by social media, it seems like the residents are using it as an excuse for a neighborhood block party. I can just imagine them setting up lawn chairs, passing around snacks labeled explosive flavors, and watching the news like they're watching a reality show. I mean, who wouldn't want to witness a little chaos with a side of popcorn? It's like a season finale of Real Housewives. Dnipropetrovsk edition. You can't look away.
What's your take on how the media is covering this story?
Oh, the media is having a field day with this one. You can almost hear the collective gasp as they trot out terms like mystery explosion and unexplained incident. It's like they're trying to win an award for the most dramatic news piece of the year. I half expect someone to throw in a paranormal angle just to spice things up. Was it aliens? Or just a really tense game of Jenga? The usual suspects.
Is there any advice you'd give to people living in high-risk explosion areas?
Absolutely. First off, always have a go bag ready, because who wouldn't want to evacuate in style? Pack some snacks, a favorite book, and perhaps a pair of emergency sunglasses. Nothing says, "I'm surviving a disaster," quite like looking fabulous while dodging debris. And of course, keep an eye on the news, because nothing beats the thrill of who's going to cover the next explosion better.
So, China's really taking a stand by refusing to comply with US sanctions on its oil industry, is that right?
Oh, absolutely. It's like watching a toddler refuse to eat broccoli because it's green. China just waved its little flag and said, "Nope, not today, Uncle Sam." They activated their 2021 sanctions rule, as if it were the secret potion that makes all the bad stuff go away. I mean, who wouldn't want to protect their oil industry from what they consider unfair meddling? It's almost endearing, like watching a puppy bark at its own reflection.
And these 5 refineries are at the center of this drama, huh?
Yes, 5 refineries. It's like a new reality show called Keeping Up with the Crudeolians. You've got Hengli and its 4 sidekicks refusing to play by the rules of the sanctions game. They're basically saying, "Sorry, we don't recognize your authority, and it's not because we forgot our glasses. We're just on a whole other wavelength, like trying to watch Netflix on dial-up. It's a bold move for sure, and I guess they're counting on the fact that nobody really enjoys being told what to do.
What does this mean for US-China relations?
Well, it's like watching two cats stuck in a cardboard box. Lots of hissing and swatting, but no real progress. This thinks it can enforce its will, while China just rolled its eyes and decided to double down, like that friend who insists on going to a diner at 2 a.m. The relationship is about as stable as a three-legged chair right now. In other words, pack your popcorn because this geopolitical showdown's definitely not going to just end in a handshake.
What do you think about China's stance on US sanctions being unlawful?
Oh, they're pulling out the big guns with that term, aren't they? Unlawful, like when your dog eats your homework and you try to explain it to your teacher. Beijing seems to think that calling something unlawful makes it go away, but in reality, it's just the start of a very long game of international law tug-of-war. You know, it's like a courtroom drama, but instead of lawyers, we have diplomats with impressive ties and a penchant for overstatement.
So, how does this affect the oil market globally?
The oil market. It's as unpredictable as a cat on catnip. With China defying sanctions, it's like throwing a pebble into a pond and watching the ripples spread. Some people might see this as an opportunity to grab some cheap oil, while others are clutching their pearls in horror. Prices could rise, drop, or just do the cha-cha for all we know. It's a swirling vortex of uncertainty, perfect for anyone who enjoys watching global markets dance like no one's watching.
What can we expect next from this situation?
Oh, just more drama than a soap opera. We can expect all sorts of responses. Perhaps the US will respond with more sanctions. Maybe China will flex its muscles a bit more. It's like a never-ending game of geopolitical chess, except the pieces are all made of wet clay and keep changing shape. It will be fascinating to see who blinks first if anyone does. Spoiler alert, it's probably going to be the innocent bystanders. Us, so grab your popcorn and buckle up.
So, Trump has decided to shock the world by announcing that the US will withdraw over 5,000 troops from Germany and abroad. What do you make of this bombshell?
Oh, just the usual Tuesday morning surprise. I mean, who doesn't love a good plot twist? It's like the finale of a soap opera where everyone suddenly gets amnesia. But in all seriousness, this move is like taking dessert out of a kid's hands. It's going to create a lot of uproar and tantrums. Not to mention it's going to leave folks wondering who's actually in charge of the security blanket we've wrapped around Europe for so long.
What do you think the implications of this troop withdrawal will be?
Well, it's like pulling the last piece out of a Jenga tower and hoping it doesn't all come crashing down. The implications are huge. Suddenly, you've got NATO allies sweating more than a snowman in July. It raises questions of stability, and one can just imagine some leaders getting their hair done, only to find they have to cut their appointments short because the US just dipped from the global mountain party.
Do you think this decision could affect US relations with NATO allies?
Oh, absolutely. This is like showing up to a potluck dinner empty-handed while everyone else brought their A-game. Our NATO pals might be sitting there, munching on their gourmet quiche while thinking, "Thanks a lot, buddy." They'll probably have to send a bunch of "we miss you" texts just to keep the relationship alive. It's a classic case of diplomatic awkwardness, right?
What's Trump's reasoning behind this troop reduction, do you think?
Well, I'd say it's a bit like wanting to cut down on your grocery bill by only buying instant noodles. He probably sees it as a way to save costs and focus on America first, which sounds fantastic on a bumper sticker but in reality, just makes you wonder who's going to watch the kids while you're out enjoying your me time. It's a balancing act between savings and security. And honestly, I'm not sure the circus has a strong enough tightrope.
How might this decision be perceived domestically within the US?
Oh, it's bound to spark a lively debate. Picture a family gathering where Uncle Bob shouts about how military presence should be like family, big and everywhere. Some folks are going to cheer like they just hit the jackpot, while others will be wondering if they need to start buying more canned goods for their bunker. It's going to be sensational, turning Thanksgiving dinner into an episode of Survivor, US edition.
Looking ahead, how do you foresee this impacting military strategy in the coming months?
It's like trying to assemble IKEA furniture without the instructions. It might look pretty simple, but trust me, confusion is lurking right around the corner. Military strategy is going to have to adapt like a chameleon in a bag of Skittles. Suddenly, resources, alliances, and troop placements are all up for debate, and let's hope someone's keeping a scorecard, or we could be in for a wild ride.
So, it appears that Trump has rejected Iran's proposal to open the Hormuz Strait, which has sent tensions in nuclear negotiations spiraling. What's your take on this?
Well, if I had a penny for every time a world leader rejected a peace proposal, I'd be able to afford my own private island, right next to the Hormuz Strait. I hear it's nice this time of year. Seriously though, it's like watching two toddlers fighting over a toy, while the adults just shake their heads, wondering if today's the day they finally get to nap. Iran throws a peace proposal, and Trump says, "Thanks, but no thanks," which is just code for, "I'm busy negotiating my next tweet." Unbelievable. You almost want to give them a timeout instead of a nuclear deal.
What do you think is behind Trump's strong rejection of the proposal?
Oh, just classic Trump. It's all about the theatrics. It's like he's the star of his own reality show where suspense is key, and rejecting things is his bread and butter. Why compromise when you can keep everyone on their toes? If I were to guess, he probably thinks opening the Hormuz Strait is like opening Pandora's box. Except Pandora might just have a really aggressive surface-to-air missile in there, instead of some cute cat videos. It's all about the drama, and he knows it keeps the spotlight right where he wants it.
This proposal supposedly included a two-step plan to halt the war and open the strait. Do you think that could have been a feasible solution?
Feasible? Oh, honey, that's a term for fairy tales and unicorns. I mean, a two-step plan is great if you're at a dance party, but this is international diplomacy. We're not exactly doing the cha-cha here. It's more like a slap dance with the world watching from the sidelines, just waiting for the inevitable slip and fall. Sure, it sounds good on paper, but how many times have we seen one side say, "Let's hug it out," only for the other side to throw a pie instead? They might as well include ice cream and a clown while they're at it.
With nuclear negotiations coming up, what do you think the future holds now after this rejection?
The future of nuclear negotiations, where optimism goes to die. I mean, if they were a movie, they'd be either a suspense thriller or a dystopian horror. You either have everyone holding their breath, like they're waiting for a magician to pull a rabbit out of a hat, or it's just one giant train wreck you can't look away from. Trump's rejection has set the stage for a sequel that nobody asked for, starring a cast of frustrated diplomats trying to make sense of it all, while the audience throws popcorn at the screen. Spoiler alert, it probably ends with more sanctions and even less understanding.
What might Iran's next steps be in light of this refusal?
Iran is probably sharpening its pencils and flipping through a how-to book on international negotiations, or at least one on passive-aggressive messaging. They're likely to regroup, throw a nuclear negotiation 101 seminar, and come back with a proposal that's so wrapped in red tape, it'll take a team of professionals just to unwrap it. You know, classic comeback story. Well, if you don't want this, how about that? They might start sending flowers or drawing sad faces on the proposals to win some sympathy points. It's all a part of the game, and we know how it goes. More twists than a pretzel factory.
Any final thoughts on how this situation represents broader issues in international relations?
Oh, absolutely. This whole scenario could be an excellent manual on international relations. It's like a mix of a soap opera and a circus, with elephants playing chess and clowns negotiating treaties. The fact is, we're witnessing a masterclass in how not to play nicely with others. The intricacies of diplomacy are as tangled as your headphones after a long day in your bag. Honestly, if we could just get everyone to sit down and play a game of Monopoly instead, we might find out they argue as much over property as they do about nuclear arms. At least in Monopoly, you can kick someone out of your house if they land on boardwalk.
So, breaking news. 300 criminal cases linked to insults against politician Friedrich Merz in Germany. What's happening here?
Ah yes, the classic case of Friedrich Merz, the politician who just can't catch a break. I mean, who knew that being called a fool or a fascist could lead to so many legal dramas? It's like a soap opera, only with less attractive people and more legal jargon. Apparently, in Germany, dissenting opinions are now being treated like rare artifacts. Quite the switch from beer gardens to courtrooms, right? But hey, who can blame the poor guy? If someone called me a fascist, I'd probably throw a fit too. Thankfully, my only critics are my family, and they're more into passive-aggressive eye rolls than lawsuits.
The government is trying to keep the details of these cases under wraps. What's that all about?
Oh, you know how it goes. Governments love secrets. It adds a little sprinkle of intrigue to their otherwise humdrum existence. It's like a bad spy movie, but instead of high-tech gadgets, we have highly offended politicians. They probably think if they keep things quiet, we won't notice how ridiculous it all is. It's like that time I tried to hide my terrible cooking skills by serving takeout in fancy dishes, only to be caught red-handed by my friends. I guess they thought silence was golden, but it turns out it's just a great way to brew conspiracy theories. And what's he hiding? Gossip among the public.
A court demanded transparency regarding these cases. Is that a win for democracy?
Sure, let's call it democracy. 1. Silly politician insults. 0. I mean, nothing screams, we trust our leaders, more than a court saying, hey, let's make sure you're not just taking things too personally. It's like having your mom review your diary because she thinks it's a little too angsty. Only this time it's the legal system trying to keep a politician from turning into a fragile snowflake. But really, when did insults become a new Olympic sport? I can just imagine the judges in the courtroom rating the insults on a scale from mildly offensive to someone definitely needs therapy.
Merz has filed multiple complaints since 2021. What's your take on that?
Well, this guy is on a roll, filing complaints like he's collecting stamps. Look, I got a classic idiot and a rare tyrant. Honestly, one might think he's really passionate about his job, but I suspect he just gets a kick out of creating a drama worthy of a Netflix miniseries. I mean, if there were awards for being insulted, he'd sweep the Oscars. But let's be real. He's like the kid who brings a world's best politician mug to school and then gets upset when someone says it should say, world's most sensitive politician. Maybe he should invest in some thicker skin or a solid sarcasm shield, though I'd bet the courts might put that on their next docket too.
They've even conducted house searches based on some of these cases. What's your opinion on that?
Ah yes, the old search warrant adventure. It's like a scavenger hunt but with legal ramifications. Who knew that calling someone a numbskull could lead you to having your living room searched like it's a crime scene? I mean, talk about an overreaction. Next, they'll be sending the SWAT team to investigate my sarcastic tweets. I can just see it now. Mom, we received reports of a pun too terrible to ignore. It's like they've taken the phrase, "don't bring your work home," and flipped it on its head. If I were a judge, I'd be more concerned about the invasion of privacy than about what someone called Friedrich over coffee. But hey, nothing like a good old-fashioned search to keep everyone on their toes, or on their couches, in this case.
With the courts stepping in and all these legal battles, where do you think this is heading?
Oh, I think we're heading straight for a showdown of epic proportions. No, not a Western standoff. More like a court-themed game show where the prize is, who can throw the best insult. Imagine the ratings. I can picture it now. Will Murs take the lead? Or will the shadowy figures of dissent triumph? In the end, if we're not careful, this whole situation might just turn into a courtroom sitcom. Get the popcorn ready. I mean, if there's anything that unites us as a people, it's the sheer joy of watching politicians squabble like toddlers over crayons in a daycare. So buckle up, because this roller coaster is only just getting started.
So, it seems Netanyahu decided to show off his gym skills on a video. What do you think about that move?
Ah yes, nothing screams, "I'm fit to lead," quite like flexing your biceps in a gym video. It's like saying, "forget about my policies, check out these gains." It's almost as if he thinks a six-pack is an alternative to a six-point policy plan. And then of course, there's Lapid, who, instead of just shaking his head, decided to one-up him with a video of his own. Because, if you can't beat them, just mock them while lifting dumbbells. It's the democratic way.
How does this back and forth with fitness videos reflect on their political rivalry?
Oh, it reflects beautifully. It's like watching a reality show where the stakes are higher than most gym memberships. Instead of policy debates, we have a bodybuilding competition. Who can bench press their way into the hearts of the electorate? It's a real game changer. I mean, who knew the path to the prime ministership ran through pump sessions and protein shakes? It's like American Idol. But for politicians, why don't they just throw in a dance-off while they're at it?
Do you think people actually care about these fitness displays? Or is it more about the humor?
Honestly, it's probably more entertaining than most soap operas. I mean, who doesn't love a good laugh? Watching politicians strut around like peacocks on pre-workout is like seeing your dad attempt to floss at a wedding. Awkward but oh so entertaining. People might not remember what they said in the Knesset, but they'll definitely recall the time Netanyahu tried to squat and Lapid called him out. It's the political equivalent of, "Did you see that fail video?"
What does this say about how politicians are trying to connect with the public?
It says they're desperately trying to show they're human, even if that means sweating profusely while lifting weights. Politicians are realizing that charisma can sometimes outweigh competence, like trying to convince a cat to take a bath. It's a tough sell, but hey, if flexing muscles gets you votes, why not? Next we might see a debate in yoga pants, complete with downward dog and all. It's all about relatable content, and if a few squats can get you there, then by all means, let's fill the news feed with burpees.
Is this fitness show-off trend going to stick around in politics?
Oh, you bet. At this point, we should probably invest in gymwear for politicians as part of the national budget. Just think about it. Debates will become less about policies and more about who can do the most pull-ups while reciting tax codes. It's the perfect blend of fitness and faux pas. Honestly, if we keep going at this rate, I half expect to see campaign ads featuring jogging sessions and protein shake recipes. Who knew the real battleground was the local gym?
Are there any risks involved for politicians engaging in this kind of public display?
Absolutely. One slip on the treadmill, and suddenly you're not just a candidate, you're a meme. I mean, no one wants to be the politician who fell off the treadmill while trying to prove he's fit. That might just knock your approval ratings lower than a limbo stick at a family reunion. The risks are as high as dumbbells, my friend. They're walking a tightrope, trying to balance fitness with not looking ridiculous. And one poorly timed squat could send them tumbling down to political oblivion.
So, Trump has made a bold promise to dismantle Iran's missile program. What's your take on that?
Ah, yes. The classic playbook of sending a bulldozer to a housewarming party. Trump promising to eliminate Iran's missile capabilities is like a toddler saying they can clean up the entire playroom. Sure, it sounds cute, but we all know where most of those toys are ending up. First off, does he have a blueprint for a rocket-killing laser? Or is he just planning to throw glitter at them and hope they disappear? This is the same guy who can barely get a tweet out without a typo. His plans for international peace sound like me trying to fix a leaky faucet with a dinner fork.
Do you think this is just political posturing, or is there something more serious behind it?
Oh, it's definitely political posturing. It's like watching a peacock strut around, showing its feathers while trying to distract you from the fact that it's just a bird with an overinflated ego. This is a classic move. In the grand game of who can sound the toughest, he's just taking the stage, waving his arms like he's in a Broadway musical. Meanwhile, in the real world, Iran's missile program is probably giggling in the corner, like a kid with a half-eaten cookie, thinking, "What's that guy talking about?" But hey, nothing like a little saber rattling to get the crowd excited, right?
What impact could this have on US-Iran relations?
If history has taught us anything, it's that these kinds of bold statements usually have all the grace of a hippo on roller skates. US-Iran relations are probably sitting there, twiddling their thumbs, and wondering if they should just order popcorn for the inevitable drama that's about to unfold. Look, when you threaten to dismantle someone's toys, they don't usually respond by inviting you over for tea. You get more of a "how dare you" from the other side. It's like poking a bear with a stick and being surprised when it growls back. I'm just saying, at this point, it seems like they might need to hire a marriage counselor more than a diplomat.
Is there a possibility of a military response from Iran?
Oh, absolutely, because nothing says, "Welcome to diplomacy," quite like the sound of military jets flying overhead. If I were Iran, I'd be looking at Trump's comments like someone evaluating a "How to Win Friends and Influence People" guide written by a rabid raccoon. And let's face it, if a cat can get your attention by knocking over a glass, imagine what a whole country could do if they felt threatened. So, yes, a military response is not only plausible, it's practically a given. They might be thinking about sending back a care package of their own, postmarked with a big "thanks for the threat."
What can we expect next from this situation?
Well, in the world of international relations, this is akin to opening a can of soda and expecting it to stay calm. Spoiler alert, it won't. Buckle up, because we're likely heading towards some high-stakes negotiations that will look more like a game of poker between two players who are way too confident about their two of hearts. We could see some fiery speeches, Twitter wars, because apparently that's where geopolitics now thrives, and maybe even a few more bold claims that are as solid as a souffle in an earthquake. So, expect drama, memes, and possibly a few new hashtags to emerge. Welcome to the circus.
What do you think the average American should take away from this news?
Ah, the average American, bless their hearts, trying to navigate the circus of politics While still figuring out what's for dinner, they should probably grab an extra bag of popcorn because, folks, we are in for a show. The takeaway? Be aware that the biggest issues are often dealt with in the tiniest ways, and that international relations is just a fancy term for people effectively arguing over who gets to play with the coolest toys. They should also know that while we're glued to our screens, politics is going to do its usual dance, complete with bad moves and questionable choices. Stay informed, stay snarky, and try not to set your hair on fire with outrage. It's a long ride, folks.
So, it looks like Trump is set to withdraw more troops from Germany than we thought. What's your take on this bold move?
Well, it's like deciding to take a few extra candy bars from the grocery store just because they were on sale. Sure, it's a sweet deal for Trump, but it leaves the rest of us wondering if he's got a secret stash of sugar we don't know about. I mean, who knew troop withdrawals could turn into a surprise clearance sale? Next, he'll be telling us he's pulling out of NATO because we need a little R&R, folks.
Do you think the reasoning behind this withdrawal is sound?
Oh, absolutely. It's as sound as a bell. If that bell were made of marshmallows. I mean, let's give him credit. Nothing says diplomacy like packing your bags and saying peace out to your allies. It's like throwing a party and then leaving right before dessert because someone sneezed. Good luck explaining that to the neighbors. They might just think you were allergic to cooperation.
What do you think the reaction in Germany will be to this news?
Well, it's sort of like finding out your roommate is moving out, but they only leave behind a half-eaten pizza and a note that says, "I'm off to find myself." Germany might be feeling a little abandoned. Maybe even like they've just been ghosted in a group chat. You can almost hear the Auf Wiedersehen echoing, but with a question mark at the end, like they're wondering if they should still keep the light on for Uncle Sam.
How do you think this will affect the US's relationship with Europe?
Oh, it's bound to be interesting. Like watching a tightrope walker juggling flaming torches while riding a unicycle during a windstorm. Europe's going to have to figure out how to balance their own security while trying to figure out if America just took off for a long weekend or if this is a permanent vacation. It's like being left alone with the bill after a big dinner party. No one invited you to the table, but now you're stuck washing the dishes.
Is there a strategic advantage to this move, or is it more of a political statement?
Well, it's definitely a statement. Kind of like wearing socks with sandals at a formal event. The strategic advantage seems about as clear as mud. Sure, it's an eye-catching headline, but much like a cat video, it draws attention without really delivering any substance. You can shout "America first" from the rooftops, but if the neighbors are starting to take bets on how long before you trip over your own message, it's probably time to reassess your strategy.
What can we expect in terms of future military strategy from the US?
Honestly, it looks like a game of chess where someone's lost all their pieces and is now trying to play with a deck of Uno cards instead. You might get a few wild plays here and there, but, at the end of the day, you're still going to have a very confused board. Expect more unexpected withdrawals, and plenty of "oops, did I say that out loud?" moments coming from the Pentagon. It's the new strategy of confusion. Keep everyone guessing while you figure out which way is up.
The U.S. Air Force is launching a massive deployment from CENTCOM tonight. What's behind this urgent move?
Well, you see, the Air Force has this habit of treating the CENTCOM area like a seasonal sale at a department store. They wait for the right moment, then they rush in, ready to grab everything in sight. Maybe they heard a rumor about a half-off deal on military operations. Or perhaps the latest military exercise is so popular, they just couldn't resist showing off their shiny new toys to the neighborhood. Let's be real. Nothing says we're serious, quite like marching troops and deploying fighter jets in a hurry, right? It's like they want us to believe they're prepping for the ultimate game of capture the flag.
What does this deployment mean for international relations?
Oh, it means that the International Relations board game just got an expansion pack. Picture it like Monopoly, but with less chance and more tanks. While some leaders are sitting around the table, discussing trade deals over tea, the US is kind of that friend who shouts, "Let's go to war," whenever someone lands on boardwalk. It's all about flexing their military muscles, showing everyone they can send troops faster than you can say, diplomatic solution. So buckle up, it's going to be a bumpy ride on the foreign policy roller coaster.
How does this deployment affect the troops involved?
Ah, the brave souls on the front line. You know, they probably signed up for action but not for last-minute game shows involving intense deployment schedules. It's like being told you're going on a vacation, only to find out you're actually going on an intense reality TV show, with no script and lots of surprises. The troops are probably getting ready to pack their bags quicker than you can say, unplanned chaos. Honestly, the only thing more unpredictable than a live broadcast of reality TV is the timeline for military operations.
What can we expect next from the US military strategy?
Ah, the age-old question that's trickier than a cat on a hot tin roof. You can expect a strategy that looks like it was designed by a toddler with a crayon. Colorful, chaotic, and definitely going off in unexpected directions. They might take a step back and reconsider their steps, or they could dive headfirst into another operation because why not? It's like a game of chess, where the pieces just decide to play tag instead. So, if anyone's looking for predictability and consistency, they might have to check the not available section. Grab your popcorn. It's going to be a show.
How should the public react to these developments?
Well, the public should grab some snacks, sit back, and watch the show unfold like it's the latest episode of a reality TV series. Because that's what this feels like, right? You could scream at the TV or comment online like a keyboard warrior, but let's be honest, watching from the sidelines with a side of popcorn is the best seat in the house. Just try not to take things too personally. Like when your favorite character gets into a dramatic fight and you're left gasping at the screen. It's all about resilience at this point. We're just spectators in this thrilling drama called geopolitics.
What are the implications for the local populace in CENTCOM areas?
Ah, the local populace, who are probably thinking they just wanted a quiet evening until the US Air Force decided to throw a loud surprise party in their backyard. I mean, who doesn't enjoy a bit of military action as a backdrop to their evening news? The implications range from confusion to sheer excitement. Some might even think it's their turn to star in a war documentary. It's kind of like living next to a racetrack and never getting a warning before the cars zoom past. Hopefully, they can dodge the chaos and get a little peace amidst the fireworks. But who are we kidding? It's like trying to catch confetti in a windstorm.
So, we just found out that USAF's C-5M Super Galaxy jets are racing from the Middle East to the EU. What's the reason behind this sudden move?
Well, apparently, the jets got a memo that said, "Emergency! Flight to Europe! Stat!" I mean, it's almost like one of those last-minute Black Friday sales where everyone rushes to grab the best deals before they run out. The only difference is, these jets aren't snatching up flat-screen TVs. They're more like the flying equivalent of taking the express train to grandma's house when you hear the family drama is about to go down. With tensions higher than my blood pressure during election season, it seems like the USAF is just trying to make sure they've got their airlift game on point in case things get a little too spicy over there.
How do these military movements impact the geopolitical landscape in Europe and the Middle East?
Ah, the classic game of geopolitical chess, where every move is like a dramatic episode of a reality show, except with less drama and more men in uniforms. Honestly, each jet is like a giant cardboard cutout in a world of 3D chess. It looks powerful. But should you really be worried about it? These sudden flights often send a signal that says, "We mean business." Kind of like a toddler yelling, "I'm not sharing my toys," when they still have a whole toy box to play with. So yes, it might make some European nations double-check their emergency protocols, while others might just roll their eyes and say, "Here we go again." It's like watching a soap opera where you know the plot twists, but you're still here for the drama.
Do you think this military maneuvering is just a show of strength, or is there an underlying strategy?
Oh, it's definitely a mix of showing off and trying to hide the fact that we don't know what's happening next, like a magician pulling rabbits out of hats while desperately hoping they don't pull out a skunk instead. I mean, every time a jet takes to the skies, it's basically like the US is saying, "Look at us. We're the big kid on the block, and we brought snacks." But deep down, you know they're just as confused as all of us about how to deal with the neighborhood bully. It's like watching someone flex at the gym while secretly Googling how to deal with emotional crisis after leg day. There's definitely some strategy in there, but it's wrapped in a whole lot of theatrics.
What do you think the reaction will be from the countries involved in this military transport?
Oh, well, you can expect a mixed bag of reactions, sort of like a buffet where everyone took way too much of that questionable sushi. Some countries will probably nod their heads and say, "Good job, Uncle Sam. Keep the peace." While others raise an eyebrow and think, "What are you up to now?" It's a classic case of, "Look over here, don't mind the man behind the curtain." And let's be honest, some leaders will probably launch a press conference faster than a kid getting caught in the cookie jar. You'll see some alliances getting tighter than my jeans after the holidays, while others will just sit back, sip their tea, and think, "Well, this should be fun to watch." It's like the world stage is just a big reality show with some hefty sponsorship deals.
How does this all tie in with the current tensions in the region?
Oh, it's like trying to untangle a necklace that your cat just decided to play with. You know it's going to be a wild ride, but you're just hoping not to lose a finger in the process. The Middle East has been the drama queen of international relations for years, and bringing in the heavy machinery just adds more fuel to the fire, or maybe more popcorn to the theater. Tensions are rising like a soufflé in an oven, and everyone's holding their breath, hoping it doesn't collapse. When jets start flying around like they're auditioning for Top Gun, it usually means something's brewing. It's a bit like watching a game of Jenga, where each jet is a piece, just waiting for the moment someone makes a move that sends it all crashing down.
In light of this movement, what can we expect from the USAF in the near future?
Oh, you can expect the USAF to keep strutting their stuff like a peacock in a fashion show. They'll probably be sending more jets around, flaunting their feathers and saying, "Look at us, isn't it pretty?" It's basically like keeping your social media presence strong. If you don't post, do you even exist? With the way things are going, they might even start launching an aviation-themed reality show. So you think you can fly? With surprise deployments and dogfights as the finale. Expect more drills, more flights, and countless opportunities for headlines that scream, "Something's happening." It's all about staying relevant and keeping the competition on their toes, slowly building an airlift empire while looking fabulous doing it.
So, It seems we've uncovered a secret campaign where influencers are being paid to promote pro-US AI narratives and anti-China sentiments. What's your take on this shocking tactic?
Oh, just your average Tuesday in the world of politics where money can buy you a narrative faster than a kid can say influencer. It's like a really expensive game of chess. Except the pawns are wearing designer clothes and have millions of followers. Who wouldn't want to pay a 22-year-old with a TikTok account $5,000 to parrot some scripted patriotism? It's as if they found a way to turn social media into a political action committee. Or, as I like to call it, socialism for the rich. Who knew the future of geopolitical strategy would hinge on a few Instagram posts and some hashtags?
And they're using companies like Palantir and OpenAI in this campaign. Isn't that a little concerning?
Oh, absolutely. It's like inviting Dracula to be the guest of honor at a blood drive. Palantir and OpenAI in the same sentence as influence is more outrageous than asking a cat to lead a dog training class. When did we decide that tech companies should be the puppet masters of public opinion? It's like a tech dystopia, where every byte of data is a potential talking point for some influencer looking to cash in on their next viral trend. It's almost poetic, really, how they can turn serious issues into something as disposable as a selfie.
Apparently, this initiative started by highlighting American innovation before leaning into the anti-China narrative. Why do you think they chose that approach?
Ah, the classic bait and switch. It's like starting your meal with a delicious artisanal bread, only to find out the main course is undercooked chicken, served with a side of propaganda. The idea is to reel in the audience with some shiny innovation talk before hitting them with the China bad agenda. It's marketing 101, right? Nothing screams, "We love our country," more than scaring people about the other guy. It's like saying, "Look over here, we have cool tech," while sneaking a peek at the competition's dark side. It's all shiny objects while tossing dirt on other people's lawns.
How do you think influencers feel about being paid to push such narratives?
Oh, I can only imagine they feel like kings and queens, sitting atop their social media thrones. Who wouldn't want to get rich off of something as easy as tweeting? It's like getting paid to eat cake. Doesn't matter if the cake tastes bad as long as it gets likes. But deep down, I bet some of them are thinking, is this really what I signed up for? It must be a real existential crisis when your biggest moral dilemma is whether to promote a new skincare line or the latest government-funded anti-China campaign. It's like being at a buffet and wondering if you should eat the salad or the dessert, while everything's covered in chocolate sauce.
What are the implications of a campaign like this when it comes to public perception and trust?
Oh, trust and perception? Isn't that just adorable? In the age of social media, public perception is as solid as cotton candy on a rainy day. This sort of campaign could really skew the public's sense of reality, like a funhouse mirror but with actual consequences. It's like if you took reality TV and made it even more scripted. Who could possibly know what's true anymore? This is the kind of stuff that turns news into an episode of a reality show, where the winner isn't the smartest, but the one who can create the loudest noise. It's good for clicks, but bad for clarity. Soon we'll be fact-checking our breakfast cereals.
Finally, do you think this kind of strategy will continue or escalate in the future?
Oh, absolutely. If there's one thing we've learned, it's that when something works, it's going to be squeezed for all it's worth. Like a good lemon in a hot summer, they'll keep pushing until the last drop. As long as money talks louder than facts and influencers can make a quick buck on the side, we can expect to see more of these campaigns. It's a digital Wild West out there, and we're all just trying to survive the stampede. Who doesn't love a little drama mixed with their politics? Why bother engaging in healthy debate when you can just pay people to shout your opinions into the void?
So, Ukraine has launched unprecedented drone attacks on Russia. What's going on here?
Ah, yes. Ukraine has decided that traditional warfare is just too 20th century and opted instead for the drone swarm method. It's like a flying circus out there, except instead of clowns, you have unmanned aerial vehicles buzzing around and confusing Russia's defense systems, which, let's be honest, are about as effective as a chocolate teapot in a heat wave. These drones are coming at all hours now, because who doesn't love a little aerial surprise party at 3 a.m.? I mean, talk about taking the element of surprise to a whole new level. And as for Russia's defense, let's just say they're like someone trying to catch 100 mosquitoes with a fishing net. Good luck with that.
It sounds like the drone strategy is really throwing a wrench in Russia's defenses. What's the plan going forward?
Well, if there's one thing we know about military strategies, it's that they often require a good dose of creativity. And Ukraine seems to be taking lessons from an avant-garde art class. The plan appears to be drone attacks, until everyone collectively forgets what peace means. Especially with the Victory Day parade approaching. I mean, if you're gonna crash a party, you might as well do it dramatically, right? Plus, it seems they're counting on Russia's defense to be more like a leaky bucket that just can't hold water. So, expect the drone launches to be as frequent as my coffee refills during a Monday morning meeting.
What are the implications of these drone attacks for international relations?
Ah, the implications. Well, they are as tangled as my earbuds after a gym session. Countries watching this unfold are probably thinking, is this a new trend in conflict resolution? I can just imagine diplomats now. Forget negotiations, let's just send in the drones. It's like speed dating, but with fewer awkward silences. Meanwhile, other nations are furiously scribbling notes, must incorporate drone swarming tactics into our military playbook. It's the latest buzz in international relations, and frankly, it's more exciting than a Netflix thriller. Who knew warfare could be so entertaining?
What has been the reaction from Russia regarding these drone operations?
Oh, Russia's reaction has been as dramatic as a soap opera cliffhanger. They're claiming to shoot down drones left and right, which is great PR if you ignore the fact that they're letting more through than a bouncer at a bar during happy hour. Their portrayal of this whole situation is akin to a toddler yelling, "I'm not scared," while holding onto their blanket for dear life. It's like trying to convince the audience that you're winning the game when the scoreboard is flashing 0 for you. And as they say, denial is a river in Egypt. But in this case, it might just be a slowly sinking ship.
How will this affect everyday citizens in both Ukraine and Russia?
Oh, the everyday citizens are just thrilled. I'm sure. It's like living in a real-life video game where the stakes are higher than my cholesterol after a barbecue. In Ukraine, folks are probably adapting to the sound of drones the way we got used to car alarms. Irritating but part of the soundtrack of life now. Meanwhile, in Russia, I bet people are feeling safer than I do when I try to parallel park. More questions than comfort. Civilians are caught in the middle of this drone dance, and it's like a dance-off where no one asked for volunteers. Let's just hope their popcorn supply is stocked because this show is far from over.
What should we keep an eye on in the coming weeks?
Oh, buckle up. The coming weeks are set to be a roller coaster ride, and not the gentle kind. Keep your eyes peeled for more drone action, possibly on a grander scale than the last blockbuster hit. We might see more tactics that blend traditional ground warfare with aerial antics, like a pair of rebellious teenagers painting graffiti on their parents' garage. And let's not forget the social media debates erupting faster than a teenager discovering their first pimple. It'll be chaos, it'll be dramatic, and frankly, it might just be the only reality show worth watching. So grab your popcorn and prepare for a front row seat to this geopolitical circus.
So, let me get this straight. Ukrainian forces just delivered a stunning blow to the Russian oil fleet with a bold port attack. What's your take on that?
Oh, absolutely. It's like watching a soap opera but with slightly higher stakes and less dramatic music. I mean, who knew that the Russians were so attached to their oil tankers? It's as if they were their emotional support boats. Now they're going to have to find new methods of crying over spilled oil, perhaps a sea of tears instead.
Do you think this strike signals a shift in the dynamics of the war?
Oh, definitely. If the war were a game of chess, this move would be akin to knocking over the opponent's king and then doing a little dance around the board. Not to mention, it's hard to refuel your army when your oil fleet is practicing its synchronized sinking routine. Talk about a logistical nightmare.
What kind of impact do you think this will have on Russia?
Well, you know the saying, when it rains, it pours. In this case, it's more like, when it rains, it sinks. The Russian economy might just need a flotation device at this point. I can already see Putin calling for a meeting with his advisors, saying, should we switch to using lemonade stands for our fuel needs?
What does this mean for Ukraine's confidence moving forward?
Have you seen a kid win a game of rock, paper, scissors? That kind of unshakable confidence. This is like giving Ukraine a mega-sized trophy that says, we can do this. I mean, after successfully transforming oil tankers into fish homes, who wouldn't feel like a superhero ready to tackle the next villain?
Could we see other nations stepping in more now?
Oh, absolutely. It's like a group project in school where one person does all the work, and now everyone else is eager to hop on the bandwagon. Countries might start thinking, hey, we can toss some popcorn in the microwave and watch this drama unfold while we cheer for Team Ukraine. It's the international equivalent of the more, the merrier. Or maybe the more, the messier.
What do you predict will happen next in this conflict?
Well, predicting the next move in this conflict is about as reliable as reading tea leaves in a hurricane. But here's my guess. We might see a lot of boat repairs, perhaps some temporary tattoos saying, I survived the port attack. And a whole lot of political maneuvering. It's like watching a sitcom where everyone's trying to outwit each other. But instead of laughter, we get tension and a side of uncertainty.
So, tell me about these Trump gold cards. I heard they flopped pretty hard. What happened there?
Oh, the gold cards. They were marketed as the golden ticket to the Trump universe, but it turns out they were more like Willy Wonka's rejected candy bars. Fans thought they were investing in a slice of presidential glory, but instead, they got a slice of, well, disappointment. It's like going to a bakery and discovering the only item left is the sad, stale bread. People were expecting luxury, maybe a golden jetpack, and instead got an invitation to a yard sale.
Was there any hint that these gold cards wouldn't take off?
Well, let's just say when the announcement came out, it was like finding out your favorite roller coaster was actually just a kiddie ride. The concept was as shaky as a toddler on a unicycle. When you mix the words Trump and gold, you'd expect a rush of excitement, but the only rush here was people rushing to the nearest exit. It's like trying to sell snow cones in Antarctica. Yes, people are intrigued at first, but at the end of the day, it's just ice.
How are supporters reacting to this disappointing sale?
Oh, their reactions have been entertaining, like watching a soap opera unfold. Some are in denial, clinging to their dream of becoming gold-plated millionaires. while others are questioning if Donald's business acumen is more akin to a used car salesman than a savvy mogul. It's like finding out your favorite superhero has a secret identity as a paper pusher. Suddenly, you're not sure if you want the merch. Meanwhile, others are probably just muttering a classic, "Well, I told you so," while shaking their heads.
What do you think this says about Trump's brand in general?
If I had to sum it up, I'd say it's like a chef known for Michelin star cuisine suddenly deciding to sell microwave meals. People are starting to wonder if the magic is gone. His brand, once as solid as a golden statue, is now starting to resemble that statue after a long reign, dilapidated and maybe a little rusty. It's like watching a charismatic stand-up comedian bomb on stage. You just sit there, cringing, wondering if the punchline will ever come.
Do you think he'll try to salvage this somehow?
Of course. Someone like Trump will always find a way to pull a rabbit out of a hat, or at least a half-baked idea. Maybe he'll introduce a new line of platinum cards, or promise that owning a gold card will help you avoid taxes. It's like a magician saying, "Oh, don't worry, this was just part of the act." As if we didn't see the rabbit chewing on its own ear. The man has never met a failure he couldn't try to spin into a winning strategy.
Final thoughts. What's the takeaway from this whole situation?
The takeaway? Maybe it's time to consider what we actually value. If we're making investments based on glitzy marketing and not solid business sense, we might as well start buying shares in unicorn farms. At this point, the gold cards are more like gold-plated dreams, shiny on the outside, but when you peel away the layers, you find disappointment. People should remember that gold doesn't automatically mean value. Sometimes it's just a shiny distraction from reality.
So, Trump has made this bold declaration about Iran's missile power. What are your thoughts on that?
Ah yes, Trump's bold declaration, it's like announcing you're going to take down the last 15% of candy in the jar, after you've already devoured 85% of it. I mean, who doesn't love a good dramatic flair? It's practically a soap opera plot twist. But really, it's a classic case of, "Look over here." While the real issues lurk in the shadows, probably sipping tea and plotting their next move. One has to wonder if he thinks he's playing a game of whack-a-mole, or if he just really likes the sound of explosions. Either way, I can't wait to see how this thrilling sequel plays out.
What do you think the implications of this statement are for international relations?
Well, it's like throwing a rock into a calm pond and expecting nothing more than a couple of ripples. Spoiler alert, it's usually a tidal wave of repercussions. The last time someone tried to obliterate missile power, we ended up with a game of international dodgeball where nobody wins, and everyone spends a little too much time in the penalty box. Iran's probably rolling their eyes right now while refreshing their Twitter feed, because, let's face it, statements like this turn diplomatic relations into an online flame war. But hey, at least it gives us some juicy headlines to munch on while we wait for actual solutions, right? Who needs peace when you have drama?
What do you think the American public's reaction will be to such a statement?
Oh, the American public's reaction? It's like watching a reality TV show, where everyone is either team, "Oh, this is just brilliant," or team, "Oh no, he didn't." It's a real spectacle. Some folks will grab their popcorn, while others will shove their heads into the nearest pillow, hoping it's just a bad dream. Everyone loves a bit of chaos, don't they? It's like a soap opera where the stakes are higher, but instead of cliffhangers, we get missile trajectories. Just imagine the social media trends. "Make missiles great again" trending next to "Take it easy," and you have a recipe for a glorious internet meltdown.
Do you think there will be any actual action taken following this declaration?
You know, actions are like that one friend who always says they'll hit the gym, but ends up binging on Netflix instead. Trump's declarations often sound like a fast food menu. Lots of enticing options but ultimately not much substance. Sure, we might see a few more tweets, and perhaps a shiny press conference, but actual action? Well, that's like finding a unicorn at the end of a rainbow. If this were a movie, it would be titled The Fast and the Frustrating, complete with explosions but little resolution. So, let's not hold our breath for a sequel to this blockbuster anytime soon.
How does this impact the relationship between the U.S. and its allies in the region?
Oh boy, it impacts them like a kid on a sugar high impacts a quiet classroom. Allies are probably sitting there with a mix of enthusiasm and dread, wondering if they should cheer for the drama or brace for the fallout. It's like a high-stakes game of poker, and the US just flipped the table, scattering chips everywhere. Some allies might feel emboldened, while others are frantically looking for the nearest exit. After all, no one wants to be the one holding the bag when the fireworks start. It's a delicate dance, and let's just say, the choreography is looking a bit wobbly at the moment.
What's the bottom line here, in your opinion?
The bottom line? It's like trying to find a clean spoon in a messy kitchen, daunting and possibly futile. We're left with a spectacle that distracts from the real game of chess happening behind the scenes. It's a flashy declaration filled with bravado but devoid of the real substance we need. So while Trump is out there playing the role of the mighty warrior, the world is saying, all right, but what's next? Because at the end of the day, charisma doesn't build peace. We might need a little more than just tough talk and bombastic headlines to solve this puzzle, folks.
So, I hear there's been a massive blaze erupting near Chernomorsk after some strikes? What's the story behind it?
Oh, absolutely. It's like the universe decided to throw a bonfire party and forgot to send out the invites. You know, nothing screams good times like a raging fire in the heart of a conflict zone. Apparently, the strikes weren't just your average fireworks display. They came with a side of intense drama worthy of a Netflix series. Imagine firefighters trying to put out a blaze while dodging flying shrapnel. Talk about multitasking. If only the flames could take a break and let a fireman grab a hot dog for a second.
And how are people in the Odessa region reacting to this situation?
Well, let's just say the residents are probably feeling like they signed up for a reality show they didn't audition for. You know, like a hybrid version of Survivor meets Home Improvement. There's a range of emotions, from sheer panic, oh great, now I'm going to have to wash smoke out of my curtains again, to full-on determination, like if I can survive my mother-in-law's Thanksgiving dinner, I can survive this. It's amazing how people can laugh through the flames, literally and metaphorically.
What's the bigger picture here, with tensions rising in the region?
Ah, the bigger picture. It's like trying to view a Picasso painting from a distance. All you see is chaos. Rising tensions are the new black in the Odessa region. It's like watching a bad soap opera unfold in real life. One moment you're binge-watching the fire, and the next moment there's a plot twist that leaves you questioning your life choices. And let's face it, when tensions rise, the only thing you can truly count on is that no one will be passing the popcorn during this show. Everyone's too busy barricading their windows and practicing their running skills.
Is there any way the local authorities are managing the fire and the situation?
Well, managing a blaze while juggling a diplomatic crisis is like trying to balance flaming swords while riding a unicycle. It's all fun and games until someone loses a limb. Local authorities are probably running around like headless chickens, frantically trying to douse flames while issuing press releases that sound suspiciously like they were written at 3 a.m. after a few cups of coffee. The fire department's motto might as well be, Keep calm and throw water at everything. Let's just hope they have enough fire extinguishers and a good sense of humor.
Could this fire impact the situation politically in the Odessa region?
Impact politically? Oh, you bet. It's like tossing a grenade into a room of already tense politicians. Suddenly, everyone's pointing fingers and forgetting the whole teamwork mantra they preached about last week. Politically, it's like the equivalent of having a dogfight in your living room. Messy, chaotic, and bound to leave a few bruises. The discourse might go from "let's work together" to "who put fire in my backyard?" Faster than you can say, "What were we even arguing about?" It's all part of the geopolitical circus.
What can we expect moving forward from this situation?
Oh, buckle up. Expect a wild ride like a roller coaster, designed by someone who's had one too many energy drinks. The aftermath might lead to more discussions and debates that sound like they're being conducted by a bunch of cats in a room full of laser pointers. More strikes? Probably. More fires? Definitely. And who knows? Maybe someone will throw in a peace summit just for spice. But let's be honest, any resolution is likely to be as believable as a unicorn sighting. Hopeful, but I wouldn't bet my lunch money on it. So, grab your popcorn and keep your helmets handy.
So, Russia is demanding accountability from Ukraine for violent crimes against Russian journalists, and nobody seems to be listening. What's your take on this whole situation?
Ah yes, the melodrama of international diplomacy. It's like watching your neighbor yell at their cat for being aloof while the world burns, isn't it? Russia's demanding accountability, like the kid in school who never does his homework but always wants to be the first to point fingers. Maria Zakharova must have a PhD in theatrical statement making. "We won't let them get away with it." Sounds like a superhero movie tagline. Meanwhile, UNESCO and the UN are probably wondering if they should call for a group hug or just hit the snooze button on global issues. It's a classic case of who will save the day. Spoiler alert, probably not anyone with a cape.
What do you think about the media's reaction to these claims of violence against journalists?
Oh, the media's reaction is as predictable as a cat video going viral. It's like they're all playing hide and seek, but forgot to tell each other they're hiding. I mean, if a tree falls in a forest and nobody's around to tweet about it, does it make a sound? Apparently not. The global silence is deafening, though you'd think UNESCO might throw a tweet or two into the void. But harsh truth, when it comes to international journalism dramas, the media often prefers to cover celebrity meltdowns. Because who doesn't love a good train wreck over serious news, right? Keep that popcorn handy.
Do you think the international community will respond to Russia's demands, or are they too busy with their own crises?
The international community responding? That's about as likely as finding a unicorn at your local coffee shop. They're all juggling their own crises, like circus clowns on a unicycle. And let's be honest, they've got enough on their plates without adding "solve Russia-Ukraine tensions" to the menu. It's like trying to get your friends to agree on a restaurant when they can't even decide on pizza toppings. And if we're being real, accountability and diplomacy are like oil and water. Better off keeping them apart unless you want a messy explosion.
What do you think motivates Russia to take this public stance?
Motivation is key, isn't it? You can bet the Kremlin is rolling out the red carpet for a classic PR move. You know, painting themselves as the heroes in a revenge flick where Ukraine is the villain and the West is the meddling sidekick that just won't shut up. It's like a really bad soap opera as the world turns in Eastern Europe. Let's face it, they're looking for any chance to justify their actions, and what better way than by playing the innocent victim card? It's a move straight out of the dictator's playbook. When in doubt, blame the journalists and hope the world buys it.
How do you think this affects the everyday Russian citizen?
Ah, the poor everyday Russian citizen, caught in a geopolitical soap opera without the remote control to change the channel. They're probably sitting at home, sipping tea, while the government serves them a steady diet of everything is fine propaganda. It's like being stuck in a reality show you didn't audition for. Full of drama, but you're just trying to get through your day collecting stamps or whatever it is they do for fun. You have to feel for them. In a world where everyone else is busy pointing fingers, they're just trying to figure out how to pay their bills and avoid the latest social media scandal that somehow connects to them. Good luck with that.
What can we expect next in this ongoing saga?
Expect the unexpected, my friend. This saga is like a never-ending series, full of plot twists, cliffhangers, and characters you wish would just leave the scene. We might see Russia continuing to issue dramatic statements, while Ukraine plays the role of the defiant hero, trying to survive the plot. Meanwhile, the international community will probably react like they're watching a soap opera on Netflix. Interested, but too busy to watch every episode. Expect more accusations thrown around like confetti at a wedding, and the usual let's hold a summit meetings that lead to absolutely nothing. Unless you count more sanctions and tired press releases as progress. And who knows, maybe they'll throw in a celebrity cameo just to spice things up.
Shocking images emerge of B-1 bridge after devastating U.S. airstrikes in Iran.
Well, you know what they say, nothing like a little bit of structural damage to spice up your Tuesday. Who needs an Instagram filter when you've got an airstrike? But seriously, these images are like a modern art installation gone horribly wrong. The bridge is now the poster child for what not to do on your next infrastructure project.
What do you think people are saying about this situation on social media?
Oh, it's like the Super Bowl for keyboard warriors. You've got the "I can't believe this is happening" crowd, the conspiracy theorists claiming it's all staged, and of course, the meme makers, who are probably already plotting how to turn this into a cat video. It's like watching a circus where the clowns decided to use real explosives instead of confetti.
What do you think the impact of these airstrikes will be on U.S.-Iran relations?
If you thought a family Thanksgiving dinner was tense, just wait until you see the aftermath of this. The US and Iran are about to have a chat that's going to make all previous conversations look like a friendly game of charades. This is like two teenagers arguing over the last slice of pizza, only the pizza is made of geopolitics and the stakes are a bit higher than a stomachache.
Are there any lessons to be learned from this incident?
Ah yes, the classic lessons learned moment. You know, like don't poke a bear with a stick, or better yet, don't invite the bear to your barbecue. Maybe they should consider a new motto. When in doubt, use diplomacy. It's like trying to fix a leaky faucet with a sledgehammer. Sure, it gets the job done, but now you need a whole new sink.
What can we expect to see in the news following these events?
Well, brace yourselves. The news cycle is going to be hotter than a jalapeno in a sauna. Expect a flurry of hot takes, expert analyses, and probably a few celebrity reactions that will make you question your life choices. It's like watching a reality show where the drama is real but the consequences are not. Grab your popcorn, folks, because this is going to be a wild ride.
Do you think these images will change public opinion about military actions?
Oh, absolutely. Public opinion is more elastic than a rubber band in a toddler's hands. One day they're saying "Go Team America," and the next, they're clutching their pearls, wondering how we got here. It's like watching a soap opera. Everyone loves the drama but forgets it's scripted. Expect a lot of passionate debates in coffee shops, which will probably end with someone storming out over their cold brew.
So, it seems like Serbia's President Vučić dropped a bombshell by suggesting that US and EU interests are now like oil and water. What's your take on this shocking claim?
Oh, absolutely. Because nothing screams stability like a Balkan leader pointing fingers while the rest of the world watches like it's a soap opera. It's almost like he's saying, "Hey, look over there." The grown-ups are fighting. Honestly, it's like trying to mix fire and ice. You either get steam or a really big mess. And let's not forget Trump's withdrawal comments. It's like announcing you're going on a diet right before Thanksgiving dinner. People panic, markets dive, and suddenly, everyone's clutching their pearls. You'd think world leaders would come with a warning label at this point.
He mentioned that the stock market is crashing just because of one statement from Trump. Can a single tweet really have that much impact?
Oh sure, it's Twitter, not just a social media platform. It's like the world's loudest rumor mill on steroids. I mean, one tweet can send thousands of investors into a tailspin, faster than a cat can knock a glass off the table. You'd think these stock traders were operating on a hair trigger. "Oh no," he tweeted. "Quick, sell everything before we lose our lunch money." It's fascinating, really, how people with billions of dollars can be so easily spooked by 280 characters. If only they could manage their emotions as well as they manage their portfolios.
Do you think Vucic's comments were more about drawing attention to Serbia's position in global politics rather than just stating a fact?
Oh, definitely. I mean, who doesn't love a good dramatic monologue? It's like he's auditioning for a role in a geopolitical thriller. "Look at me, I'm Serbia, the middle child in the family of nations. Notice me." It's like he woke up one day and decided, "You know what? I need to spice things up a bit." He's probably hoping that by stirring the pot, he'll gain a little favor and perhaps snag a European Union membership or at least a nice gift basket from the US. Because nothing says "please consider us" quite like a juicy controversy.
What do you think this means for the future of US and EU relations?
Well, if this keeps up, we might need to get popcorn ready for the next episode of As the World Turns. Honestly, it feels like US and EU relations are on a roller coaster that's just hit a series of unexpected twists and turns. One minute they're holding hands in a diplomatic dance, and the next, they're throwing shade at each other like a high school rivalry. If they were in a relationship status, it would definitely be, "It's complicated," and the comments section would be a total disaster. So, buckle up, folks. It looks like this ride is going to get bumpy.
Could this revelation lead to any significant political shifts or alliances in Europe?
Oh, without a doubt. It's like someone tossed a grenade into a crowded room. Suddenly, everyone's picking sides, and you can almost hear the diplomatic whispers turning into full-blown shouting matches. Countries are like teenagers. They want to be part of the popular crowd, and if that means ditching their old friends because the new kids on the block are cooler, so be it. Watch as countries scramble to align themselves with whoever seems to be winning that week. It's like a game of musical chairs, and at this rate, some players are going to end up with splinters.
Any final thoughts on how this situation may unfold?
Oh, just grab your crystal ball and start making guesses. It's like watching a reality show where everyone is scheming and plotting their next move. My prediction? More drama, more tweets, and possibly an onslaught of world leaders trying to outdo each other in the outrage department. It might even give the Kardashians a run for their money. So, while I can't predict the future, I can certainly enjoy the popcorn while we wait to see who gets voted off the geopolitical island next.
Well, it seems like Taiwan's president is really pushing the envelope by visiting Eswatini amid all these diplomatic hot waters. What's your take on this bold move?
Oh, Absolutely. Visiting Eswatini is like showing up to a wedding with a piñata when everyone else brought fancy desserts. It's a bold attention grabber, right? Taiwan's president must think of himself as the international equivalent of a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. And did you catch how China called him a mouse? That's rich, coming from a nation known for its Great Wall. Looks like someone's overcompensating a bit. But hey, if defying China means getting a free trip to Eswatini, I'm all in. Who wouldn't want to dodge the diplomatic drama for a little sunshine and maybe some local delicacies?
Speaking of tensions, how do you think this visit will affect Taiwan's relationships with other countries?
Well, if this visit was a movie, I'd say it's a combination of Mission Impossible and The Hangover. International relations are as fragile as a finely balanced stack of pancakes. One wrong move, and it's a syrupy mess. Other countries are probably watching this drama like it's the latest season of a reality show, popcorn in hand. Some might be thinking, should we join Taiwan on this wild ride, or wait for the next episode where the diplomatic fallout occurs? It's a high-stakes game of Jenga, and every block removed could either build a new relationship or come crashing down in chaos.
What do you think about China's reaction to all of this? Calling the president a mouse seems a bit juvenile, don't you think?
Absolutely. It sounds like a schoolyard insult straight out of a playground drama. I mean, calling the president a mouse is like a lion referring to itself as a fluffy kitten. Irony alert. China's throwing shade like it's a solar eclipse. It's all very dramatic. They could really use a PR team that knows how to evolve past the name-calling stage. Maybe next time they could come up with something a bit more original, like naughty little rodent or something. But then again, who doesn't love a classic comeback from the realm of kindergarten insults?
How does the phrase arrival then notification come into play here? Seems a bit sneaky, right?
Oh, arrival then notification? Sounds like the new hottest trend in diplomacy, doesn't it? It's like showing up at a party and only then texting the host, "Oh, by the way, I'm here." Very subtle, like a ninja with a loudspeaker. They must have thought, let's do this so quietly that even the wind will have no idea we're around. It's a tactic worthy of a spy novel, where every step is shaky and every decision is at the edge of a cliff. You have to wonder if they were wearing disguises too. Maybe the president donned a fake mustache for the occasion. Just your average tourist. Nothing to see here.
With all this going on, how do you see the future for Taiwan in terms international participation?
Oh, it's as clear as mud, isn't it? Taiwan's international participation feels like trying to squeeze into a crowded subway car during rush hour. Everyone's pushing and shoving, and you're just hoping for a little breathing room. They want to play in the big leagues, but have to tiptoe around China like it's a giant sleeping bear. Every move is scrutinized like it's the final episode of a beloved TV show. They may just need to start crafting an international charm offensive and hand out little tokens of goodwill, like "I survived the drama of international relations" badges. Who knows? It could turn into an award-winning series.
In your opinion, what's the biggest message sent by Taiwan's president with this visit?
The biggest message? It's basically Taiwan saying, "We'll see your intimidation tactics and raise you a international showdown." It's like bringing a water gun to a sword fight. Totally unexpected and kind of hilarious. The message is loud and clear. We're here, we're Taiwanese, and we're not backing down. It's a rebel yell echoed through the halls of diplomacy. You can almost hear the dramatic soundtrack playing in the background like a blockbuster action film. The president's on a mission, and he's not just there for the scenic views. He's making a statement, or a series of statements, like a poet who's had one too many cups of coffee.
So, I hear that Russian Garan-2 drones have been working overtime, launching devastating attacks on Ukrainian energy infrastructure in Kornomorsk. What's the scoop on that?
Ah, yes. The good old Geran 2 drones, otherwise known as the pigeons of doom, you know? For a country that's been trying to get rid of drones for ages, Russia has sure embraced them like a kid on Christmas morning. But seriously, attacking energy infrastructure? That's like going to your friend's house and slashing their Wi-Fi cables because you lost a game of poker. Not only is it petty, but it just ends up making everyone miserable. But hey, maybe it's like a really aggressive game of Jenga, except instead of wooden blocks, they're tossing around expensive equipment.
How do these attacks affect the civilian population in Ukraine?
Oh, they love it. Who wouldn't want to wake up to the sound of drones buzzing like angry bees on espresso? It's the latest trend in wake-up calls. But in all seriousness, it's a brutal wake-up as people are left without power, heat, and light. You know, basic human things that we normally take for granted. It's like when the Wi-Fi goes out during a Netflix binge, but on a much larger scale. People scrambling to charge their phones, huddled under blankets like it's the winter of 1842. So yeah, the attacks have everyone playing a really grim version of Survivor, Winter Edition.
What kind of strategy do you think is behind these drone attacks?
Well, I like to imagine the strategy meetings are a bit like a game of chess, except the chess pieces are actually angry drones, and the board is a war-torn city. Russia seems to be all about that stealthy drone action, you know? The kind that says, I want to make a statement, but I don't want to break a sweat while doing it. It's like they've taken the hit them, where it hurts, strategy to heart, but forgot that civilians are also playing this twisted game. The reality is, these strikes are really just the tactical version of throwing a tantrum. You took my crayons, so I'm going to knock over your Lego tower. It's brilliant, but also tragic, like a really sad clown.
What has been the international reaction to these drone strikes?
Oh, the international community has reacted like a parent catching their kid sneaking cookies before dinner. Lots of finger-wagging and stern looks, but no one really wants to take away that cookie jar. Countries are condemning the strikes, shaking their heads like disappointed teachers. They're probably drafting some sternly worded letters that will be sent via carrier pigeon, because, believe it or not, diplomatic emails don't always get through, especially if you're on someone's spam list. But let's face it, the reactions are just words on paper, maybe a few empty sanctions tossed in for good measure. It's like throwing a wet noodle at a wall and hoping it sticks. Spoiler alert, it usually doesn't.
What are the implications for the future if these drone attacks continue?
Oh, let me paint you a picture. If these drone strikes keep going, we might as well set up a live stream called War at the Drones, where viewers can vote on their favorite flying menaces. In all seriousness, if it persists, we could be looking at an escalated conflict. Think of it as a really bad sequel that no one wanted. It may also push neighboring countries to tighten their defenses, and pretty soon we'll be seeing military drones doing air shows at country fairs. I mean, at this rate, we'll have to start asking for tickets to see NATO perform the drone ballet. But in reality, it might just lead to more chaos and suffering. The only thing we know for sure? No one's winning any cupcakes in this bake-off.
What can we do to help the situation in Ukraine amidst these attacks?
Oh, if only sending good vibes and thoughts could power an entire country. Unfortunately, this isn't a therapy session. This is geopolitics. One way to help is to support humanitarian organizations, those who are like the superheroes without capes, swooping in to help the victims of these drone shenanigans. Imagine a bunch of people in a van, throwing out food and blankets like they're at a parade, but in reality, it's a serious operation. But if you prefer a more active role, you could always learn about the situation, advocate for peace, or even start a worldwide drone-free zone initiative. Because if we can make special areas for smoking, surely we can carve out some spaces for peaceful lives in Ukraine.
So, tell us about Admiral Brad Cooper's surprise visit to the USS Tripoli. What was going on out there?
Ah, yes! The majestic sight of Admiral Brad Cooper parachuting onto the USS Tripoli, like he was auditioning for a Navy-themed superhero movie. It's not every day you get an admiral shaking hands with sailors and Marines in the Arabian Sea, right? I mean, who wouldn't want to spend their day discussing battle strategy while surrounded by the scent of salt water and maybe a fish or two? Not to mention honoring those outstanding performers, also known as the sailors who managed to not spill coffee on their uniforms this week. For a moment, I thought he'd unveil the ship's secret weapon, an unlimited supply of pizza in the Combat Information Center.
What do you think was going through the sailors' minds during this visit?
Oh, you can bet the sailors were probably thinking, "Great, it's Admiral Cooper. I hope he doesn't ask for my thoughts on the latest tactical maneuvers." They've been out there in the Arabian Sea enough to form a close bond with their DVD player. I mean, how many times can you watch a movie before you start debating plot holes? But hey, when the Admiral shows up, it's like Christmas in July for them. Except instead of presents, they're getting motivational speeches and a reminder to keep their ships clean. I can imagine them whispering, "Did he really just check my uniform? I should've worn my lucky socks."
What do you think makes these visits important for the troops?
Well, imagine being in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by more water than you could ever dream of, and suddenly an admiral pops in like a pop quiz you forgot to study for. These visits are like surprise birthday parties, only instead of cake and balloons, you get a motivational pep talk and a reminder that yes, you are actually on a floating city of war. It lets them know that they're not just floating in a metal box, but that someone's actually keeping an eye on their well-being, and hopefully not just their grocery list. Plus, it's a perfect excuse for the higher-ups to remind everyone that their shiz is the envy of others. Because who doesn't like a little competitive spirit while floating around miles away from civilization?
Did the Admiral do anything particularly memorable while on board?
Oh, absolutely. I heard he attempted to take a selfie with the crew, but ended up creating a new social media challenge called Admiral Arms, which apparently involves holding out a phone while 10 sailors try to fit in the shot. Imagine the chaos. 1 second you're sharing a wholesome moment, and the next you're just trying to avoid elbowing your mate in the ribs. Classic. They probably told him, "Sir, you may lead a fleet, but never underestimate the power of a group selfie gone wrong." But in the end, whether he captured the perfect shot or not, he did manage to create memories. After all, nothing says bonding like awkward angles and laughter.
With the ongoing tensions in the region, how do visits like this impact morale?
Oh, they're like the sprinkles on an otherwise plain cupcake. You take a slice of military life, grueling, structured, and often riddled with uncertainty, then add an admiral, and ta-da! Suddenly, there's this sprinkle of excitement and pride. It's the kind of morale boost that says, "Hey, we're all in this together, and I may not be saving the world today, but at least I'm recognized for trying to avoid the lunch line." It's all about that human touch. You could say they're getting a bit of sunshine despite sailing through storm clouds, which is fantastic. Besides, it's easier to face those naval battles when you've got a fresh pep talk and maybe some cookies baked by the Admiral's mom. I mean, does she really bake cookies for these events? Because that's the real morale weapon.
Any final thoughts on this visit and its significance?
In conclusion, Admiral Cooper's visit was like the cherry on top of an already chaotic Sunday. It's the reminder that even amid potential high stakes, They're a part of something larger. Like a Navy version of the Avengers, but with more fuel and fewer capes. It reinforces camaraderie among troops, adds a dash of excitement to their routine, and who knows, maybe even makes them feel like rock stars for a day. But, let's be honest, what they really need is a steady supply of Wi-Fi out there, right? Because nothing says, "I love my country," like trying to post an Instagram story while dodging a wave.
So, Iran has unveiled a 14-point peace plan for the US, demanding resolutions in just 30 days. What's the deal here?
Oh, just your typical peace in our time type of initiative. I mean, who doesn't love a good checklist? It's like they're throwing a giant peace party and expecting the US to RSVP by next Tuesday. I can just picture it now. Here's our peace plan, but you have to solve complex international issues faster than my microwave popcorn pops. The nerve of some people, right? They want a full peace deal faster than I can decide what to binge watch on Netflix.
These demands include everything from ensuring security to lifting sanctions. Do you think the US is feeling the pressure?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure the folks in Washington are shaking in their boots like they just stepped on a Lego. I mean, a 14-point plan? That's like asking for a 10-layer cake for your birthday when you can't even bake a pie. But let's be real. When negotiations feel like a game of Jenga, someone's bound to pull the wrong piece and watch it all come crashing down. Bonus points if that piece is named sanctions.
Iran expects a response within 30 days, while the US suggested a 2-month ceasefire instead. How does that compare?
Well, it's like Iran is saying, "We want peace by next week," while the US is over there like your dad, taking a nap and saying, "Can't we just push that till after the Super Bowl?" Honestly, it's like they're in two different time zones. One is ready to sprint, while the other is still figuring out if they have any clean workout gear to wear to the gym. I mean, can we decide whether we're training for a marathon or just stretching on the couch here?
What are the implications of these demands, especially regarding military withdrawal?
Ah, yes, the classic "let's unpack our military bags" routine. It's like asking someone to stop eating junk food for 30 days. Good luck. The US. Doing a military pullout would be like trying to untangle a set of headphones that have been at the bottom of your bag since 2019. It's a mess, folks. And imagine the paperwork. I mean, if anything is getting pulled out quickly, it's probably just their coffee order at the local cafe. The real fun starts when you realize you can't just say abracadabra and make it all disappear.
Let's not forget about this naval blockade lift. Is that realistic?
Realistic? That's like saying I'll start eating my vegetables before dessert. Nice in theory, but not likely to happen anytime soon. The naval blockade is akin to that door you keep locked, because you just know someone will try to sneak in for leftover pizza. They might say they want it gone, but they'll probably end up using it as a bargaining chip in the next round of negotiations. It's like bringing your Aunt Gertrude to a family dinner. Awkward, and it just complicates everything.
With all these demands, do you think Iran is trying to test the waters?
Oh, definitely. They're not just testing the waters. They're practically bringing a kiddie pool and diving headfirst into it. They're like kids in a candy store, seeing how much they can get away with before the adults come in to ruin the fun. It's like asking for a raise at work while knowing you've been coming in late the last few weeks. They're pushing the envelope, seeing if it's actually a mailbox or just a really nice suggestion box. Spoiler alert, it's probably just a suggestion box.
So, what's the scoop on Lithuania banning cars from Russia and Belarus with more than 200 liters of fuel?
Ah, yes. Lithuania has decided that it's high time to put their pedal to the metal and slam the brakes on Russian and Belarusian cars that are packing more fuel than a NASCAR pit stop. Apparently, they want to prevent these drivers from turning their vehicles into mobile gas stations and selling off the excess fuel like it's a black market commodity. I mean, I get it. Who wouldn't want to stop people from profiting on the side at the expense of the state? It's all fun and games until the taxman shows up, right? And let's not forget, this little caper is costing Lithuania a whopping 2.2 million euros a month. That's like telling a teenager they can only eat 2 slices of pizza when they clearly want the whole pie. Tough love?
What kind of penalties are in place for those who break this fuel ban?
Oh, it's not just a friendly, please don't do that. If you get caught trying to pull a fast one with your fuel tank, you'll be greeted with fines that could make you feel like you just lost a game of Monopoly to Uncle Bob. And in an unexpected twist, they'll also confiscate any extra fuel that's deemed over the limit. Meaning your car could go from a sweet ride to a sad boat anchor faster than you can say, fuel crisis. It's almost poetic, really, like watching a contestant on a game show spin the wheel and land on bankrupt. Who knew the road to Lithuania could be so hazardous?
What prompted Lithuania to take such a drastic measure?
Well, apparently, the Lithuanian authorities had their Sherlock Holmes hats on and discovered a little mystery. The monthly tax losses due to these fuel shenanigans were piling up like laundry after a long week. We're talking about 2.2 million euros. I mean, that's enough to send a couple of kids off to college or fund an epic vacation for a family of 5. So, in an effort to curb this financial hemorrhage, they took action that seems just a tad aggressive, like bringing a bazooka to a marshmallow fight. But hey, when life gives you leaky fuel tanks, you ban the cars, right?
How long will these regulations be in effect?
Buckle up, folks, because this ban is cruising until December 31, 2027. That's right, 2027. You'd think they were trying to create an episode of a joyless reality show where the contestants are all trying to avoid fines rather than find love. I mean, who knows what the world will look like in 4 years? Maybe we'll all be driving self-flying cars, and these regulations will be as outdated as flip phones. But for now, those extra liters are about as useful as a chocolate teapot in Lithuania.
What are some potential consequences of this law for travelers and residents?
Oh, brace yourselves, travelers. If you're planning to take a road trip through Lithuania, you might want to brush up on your fuel math. Forget about filling your tank like it's a race day. You'll have to limp along like a tortoise trying to outrun a hare. Residents who used to just fill up and go are now faced with plotting their fuel usage like it's a top-secret mission. Can you imagine the conversations? Hey honey, do you think we can make it to Grandma's house on just 199 liters? It really adds a layer of drama to road trips that nobody asked for. Just remember, if you're carrying more than the allowed amount, you might end up sharing fuel with the local authorities instead of your buddies.
Is there any sign of pushback from drivers regarding this legislation?
Oh, you better believe there's pushback. Drivers are probably feeling as trapped as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Can you imagine the outcry?
People love their freedoms, and a fuel cap feels a bit like putting a lid on a soda bottle that's been shaken up. They're probably yelling things like, "You can't put a cap on my creativity, man," while sipping their overpriced lattes and lounging in traffic. But realistically, you can't expect them to just roll over and take this restriction lying down. It's a slippery slope. Next thing you know, they'll be regulating how many snacks you can pack for the road. Actually, now that I mention it, can we ban those snack-sized chips? They always end up all over my car.
So, The Revolutionary Guard in Iran is warning that war could be back on the table with the US after they see no signs of compromise. What's your take on this development?
Yes, nothing says, let's be friends, quite like a warning of impending war. It's like watching a cat and a dog stare each other down. You can just feel the tension. The IRGC's warning feels like someone shouting, "Hold my beer," before diving into a battle of wills. It's almost poetic. Every time Iran eases up on demands, the US cranks up the pressure like a bad DJ at a wedding. You know? Because who doesn't love a good diplomatic tango where no one knows the steps? All this just proves that negotiation might just be a fancy term for an extended game of chicken.
Given that the IRGC accuses the US of not keeping its promises, do you think this is just posturing or could it be a serious escalatory move?
Oh, the classic blame game. It's like watching two kids argue over who stole the last cookie from the jar. Everyone's pointing fingers but no one's owning up. The IRGC's accusations do feel like a soap opera plot twist. When did international relations turn into a drama series? But honestly, folks, if I had $1 for every time a country didn't keep its promises, I could probably fund my own diplomatic mission. So is it posturing? Absolutely. But it's also a reminder that some folks treat promises like they treat gym memberships. Easy to sign up for, but a pain to actually follow through on.
What do you think Iran means by the US being more unyielding each time they try to compromise?
The US and the art of negotiation. The only sport where the players take the field wearing blindfolds. When Iran talks about the US becoming more unyielding with each compromise, it's like trying to negotiate with a toddler who's just discovered sugar. Every time you offer a little leniency, they seem to think, "Great, let's raise the stakes." It's like someone who orders a salad but then drowns it in ranch. Clearly, a misunderstanding of the terms. In this game, the US plays the role of the ever-demanding parent, and Iran is the rebellious teenager trying to negotiate a later curfew. Spoiler alert: no one's getting ice cream.
With all this talk of war, what do you think the folks in DC are really thinking right now?
Oh, the folks in DC are probably thinking, not again. It's like being stuck in a never-ending sequel of a bad action movie where explosions are guaranteed and plot twists are completely ridiculous. They're likely trading eye rolls and wondering if they can just fast forward to a peace treaty. Can you picture them? Sitting around a conference table, passing the popcorn while debating whether to send more troops or just sign a peace deal and call it a day? I mean, who needs the drama of history repeating itself when you can just binge watch it on Netflix and save everyone the trouble?
How do you think the Iranian government is viewing this situation internally?
Internally, the Iranian government is probably holding a morale-boosting meeting where the leadership pretends they have it all under control, while nervously Googling how to win a war 101. It's like a late-night infomercial that promises results if you just follow the right steps. Act now, and we'll throw in a secret weapon at no extra cost. They've got to balance the need for tough talk on the outside while maintaining a calm facade inside, like a duck gliding across the water, calm on the surface but paddling like crazy beneath. In reality, they know how precarious the situation is, but hey, what's a little saber rattling between friends, right?
Lastly, what's the likely outcome of this latest escalation? Should we be stocking up on canned goods?
Well, if you're stocking up on canned goods, just remember that canned tuna has a shelf life longer than most peace agreements. The likely outcome? It feels like we're watching a drama series heading for a cliffhanger finale. You know, they might bluster and puff out chests for a while, but in the end, the world can only hold its breath for so long before resuming binge-watching normality. We might see some tough negotiations, a few dramatic speeches, and perhaps more sanctions than you can shake a stick at. So, Stock up if it makes you feel better, but just know that in the grand scheme of things, we're probably safer than a cat in a sunbeam.
So, today we're diving into the incredible stories of how children and women defied Nazis during the war. Can you believe kids were running around being actual spies?
Oh, absolutely. Because when you think of spy networks, the first thing that comes to mind is a bunch of school children in tattered uniforms, right? I mean, who needs James Bond when you have kids like Volodya squeezing through cracks like they're auditioning for the gymnastics team? Honestly, the Germans must have been utterly baffled. Where's our intelligence gone? Oh, you know, just a bunch of 12-year-olds taking notes while delivering sandwiches.
What was Volodya's biggest contribution to the partisans' efforts?
Volodya, bless his tiny soul, was like the human version of a Wi-Fi signal in a blackout. He was the one brave enough to navigate through the blockades to bring back supplies. I mean, here you have an actual child risking life and limb, probably thinking it was just another day in Mission Impossible, Kid Edition. And can we get a moment of silence for all the adult partisans stuck in the dark, going, "Why can't I fit through there?" Quite the plot twist. It's like the adulting version of Tag, but with landmines.
How did the partisans manage to cut off the German supply lines?
Oh, they just casually blew up over 140,000 rails in one night during Operation Concert. Just a regular Tuesday for these folks. I can't even imagine the planning that went into that. The logistics must have looked like a puzzle sort for toddlers. Okay, you take the dynamite. I'll bring the sandwiches. And let's hope we can blow stuff up before breakfast. I mean, it's a miracle they didn't accidentally blow up their own snack stash in the process.
What risks did local families take in helping partisans?
Oh, just the typical risk of being killed by the Nazis or the local collaborators. I mean, why wouldn't you want to open your door in the middle of the night, knowing that a simple bread roll could mean your family's demise? Come in, Mr. Partisan. I'd just love to trade my chances of survival for a crust of bread. That's some next-level altruism right there. Bless their hearts.
How did the Germans respond to the partisan movements?
Oh, let me tell you, they were like a cat with a laser pointer, frantically trying to catch every little flicker of resistance, but only ending up confused and angry. They even offered rewards for capturing partisans. Can you imagine? 3,000 marks for a kid who's probably still trying to figure out how to tie their shoelaces. It's like they were desperate enough to offer a house for a loaf of bread. Talk about inflation.
By 1943, how significant was the partisan movement?
Well, let's just say it was like a surprise party that the Germans really didn't want to attend. Over 1 million partisans running around making life miserable for the Nazis. Can you picture it? That's like 1 million little bees buzzing around, stinging the big old bear. The Germans could barely keep up, and the partisans were just like, "Surprise! We've been here all along, and we brought snacks and problems." It was less of an occupation and more of a pop quiz on just how much chaos they could create.